The following program is rated TV-14. It contains inappropriate language and violence. Viewer discretion is advised.
On this edition of The Real Deal, the key to a woman's heart is a good book. Young lovers romp through film history on a bicycle. And finally, a unique kid connects with an unlikely new friend to help him keep his head in the clouds. All that and much more on The Real Deal. Hello and welcome to The Real Deal. I'm your host, Joe Vecchio. In this program, we will showcase student filmmakers from around San Diego and explore what it takes to work in the film industry. In this edition, we feature amazing films from graduate and undergraduate students of the San Diego State University's School of Theater, Television, and Film. Joining us once again to provide insight on what the students went through to get these films made is SDSU professor and filmmaker Greg Durbin. Greg has a Master of Fine Arts degree from UC San Diego in Visual Arts and Film. His work has been broadcast nationally everywhere from PBS to the Sundance Channel and HBO. It has also been exhibited nationally and internationally in museums and festivals. The Museum of Modern Art in New York includes his video work in its permanent collection. This is his 27th year of teaching at SDSU. Greg, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, we just saw Voyage to the Moon, great cinematography, some comedy, I would say, about an inspiring young girl to become an astronaut. What can you tell us about that film in terms of the cinematography?
Well, the cinematography in our program is especially strong, I would say. Something I also have to add, though, when people look at an image like this, they're often not thinking about a huge component in that image, which is the production design. We have a very good production designer on our faculty, David Morong, who sort of came to us at the top of his game in LA. He designs for Mad Men. He was the production designer for Carnival. And a lot of what you're seeing is sort of a mix, a kind of hybrid of cinematography, lighting, and production design. Now, that particular film is probably more organized around its lighting.
Was that shot indoors or outdoors?
No, it was a tent outdoors.
Outdoor,
and we have Richard Underwood, who is a professional director, commercial director, and cinematographer, and he's brought a lot to that program. I used to be a cinematographer, and we tend to focus a lot on just the tools of cinematography, mastering the tools. We've put together with the students endless instructional videos just describing how to use these tools, how to paint basically with light. So it's not a doctrinaire approach. It's very much organized around hands-on successive feedback. Do this, let's see what it looks like. How do you tweak the light to fix this shadow or that? What are some of the tricks? We bring in cinematographers like Ryan Broomberg, who's one of our former students. Now he's sort of hit it very big with some important and prestigious cinematic graphic awards. And they do workshops for us. So I think this is one of the areas that we shine in, so to speak.
And I like the historical value of this film too. Obviously, showing the vintage footage of I think it was John Glenn, right?
Yeah.
In the whole space program. So just really good messaging. So it was terrific. So all right, great, Greg. Thank you. Now let's watch two beautifully shot films from 2009 that demonstrate what an amazing eye our student filmmakers have. The first short is titled Any Genre You Like. It was directed by Shayna Lee Bertman and written by Alex Siegel, and shows us the key to a woman's heart is a good book. Following that will be Thieves Rush In, created by Christina Cervantes and Dawn Ford. It's a story about young lovers romping through film history and San Diego on a bicycle. Let's take a look.
Mr. Twain, you've done it again. How may I? Hey. Sorry.
Yeah.
How may I be of service?
I need something on the Marshall Plan and its effects on post-war Europe.
It's in our history section. I know just the book. I could take you there if you'd like. Unless you want to peruse the section by yourself.
No, that would be great. I'm almost never in libraries. I'd hate to get lost and never make it out of here.
Follow me. I know this isn't what you were looking for, but we just got a new action adventure. It's a wonderful little yarn. I would love to show it to you.
I mean, I really don't have that much time. My essay's due in a few days.
It'll take but a moment.
All right.
The Quest of the Stable Boy. Wait! Didn't Joe get you the plans?
Yes! And it's worse than I thought. The evil Count von Schlecht, he's going to destroy all of the villages from here to Berto.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
No! Don't touch it!
Oh, no. No! No! Breathe, damn it! Breathe!
Oh, my dear Roger. So that looks like a good one. Maybe I can come pick it up when I finish my essay.
I can put it on reserve for you right now.
Why don't we just leave it be for right now and then I'll come get it later when I finish my essay?
Okay.
So, my book.
Oh, right. This way. You know, this library may not look like much, but we have won the Dramatic Mask Award 2 years in a row, and we have the best drama section in 3 counties.
Neat.
So, what do you say?
I like drama, so why not?
All right. The Lament of the Stable Boy. Oh, vengeful God! Why hast thou forsaken me?
It's true what the apothecary said. The evil Lord Byron will have you executed.
Then I shall be executed. They cannot take from me what our separation hasn't already removed. Back! Back, you heathens! No! No! Standing king of Blossom! No! Thou must never forget. Never forget thy love! Never forget thy love! No!
It's so sad.
I knew you'd like it. Now, if you really liked that one, you will love what we have in our romance section.
Okay, but this is the last one. I should have started my essay weeks ago.
The Stable Boy and the Senorita. Oh, my love, how I miss your scent, your touch, the way your eyes twinkle at night when we cuddle, the way you cook my breakfast in the morning. Huevos! Scrambled. Runny, but not too runny. Yes, I like that.
We can't. We mustn't. The evil Don Juan, he has forced my hand in marriage. If he were to find out about us, I don't even want to say it.
Shh! Then don't. The history section will be 3 aisles down. The book you were looking for will be to the bottom left, 3 to the right, next to the big red encyclopedia. I'll be at my desk if you need anything. Find what you were looking for?
Yes, thank you. Maybe when I'm done with my essay, I can come back and pick up one of those books you showed me.
Yeah, maybe we could discuss them over a cup of coffee.
I like that. I had such a good time last night. I don't know what I liked better, the book or dinner or dancing. We should do it again soon.
Absolutely.
In the sensible town of Procenia, the commonly held perception is that an ordinary bicycle does not have the power to choose where it will go.
That was great. Probably one of the best comedies I've seen. Any genre you like, it's hilarious. You were mentioning something about the pitch.
Yeah, I think what is so memorable for me was the way Alex pitched the film. Alex Siegel is the, actually he's the producer of the film, writer-producer. He assigned another director to it. His pitch was an incredible display of maniacal character assumption back and forth. He had the whole thing sort of memorized. This guy is a trained stand-up comedian, and without using any other prompts, he was able just to, kind of like Martin Scorsese does when he describes a film, he acts out the parts and the voices.
Like a Robin Williams type thing, maybe.
Very much like that. And it was probably one of the best pitches I ever saw. And these films, by the way, are made because the students vote them, they vote them into production based on those pitches. And so this is one of the best pitches, and he did a good job following it up. I think there was some disagreement between him and the director as to how things would be done, but everything was resolved, and I think it was one of the...
It was so campy, though, and John Smith, great comic acting. Was he a student at San Diego State? Or?
Yeah, he was in the theater department, and you know, it's deliberately designed to be sort of an over-the-top style of performance with a lot of sort
Comedy's
of
hard to
winking.
make it work on a film. You don't have a live audience. You're not really sure if it's going to be funny when it comes out the other end, but really worked well there. That's as funny as anything you'd see on television today or on screen. Thieves Rush In.
Thieves Rush In, yeah. Don Ford
Yeah.
did this with a cinematographer, Cristina Cervantes, but significantly, Jim Orr, my first really promising cinematography student from the early 90s, stepped in to work with her. Jim Orr now does the Duck Dynasty, and he's done a number of really impressive films. He's a very established pro. And they worked all this out, I think, based on films that they liked. So it's obviously quoting just about every film you can imagine, from Amelie to Jules and Jem to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid to Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure, and on and on. But what's so striking to me about that film is the exquisite cinematography and lighting. They shot that on 35mm film.
And of course, it's always fun to see Balboa Park or familiar places around town, you know, in a movie like that.
Who gets to see naked people in Balboa Park? It's amazing that they had to shoot it all early in the morning. They had permits and everything, but they do all that. If you look at the shadows.
I think when it first opened, they might have had an exhibit like that. But yeah, that was, you know, I didn't even think of that until you mentioned it just.
Yeah.
But yeah, great imagination, great writing to use that metaphor of the bicycle throughout. And
her attention to detail and the costuming and the props and the colors and so on was really impressive to me.
Right now, though, we have to take a short break. We have two more incredible films to showcase, so stay with us. Okay, we are back. I'm your host, Joe Vecchio, and joining me is SDSU film professor Greg Durbin. Next up is Plain White Tee, written and directed by Clay Sutherland and Devin Dolan in 2013. In this film, a unique kid with a seemingly impossible dream of flying an airplane connects with an unlikely new friend to help him keep his head in the clouds. Enjoy.
Orville? Hon, you're gonna be late for school. Oh, and open a window, please.
Plans today, Orville?
Have a nice day, Miss Reynolds.
Hey, Orville, how you doing, buddy?
Dennis?
Hey, Orville, what's up?
Doug?
How's it going, Orville?
Michael?
Hey! I'm talking to you. What the heck was that? Could have taken my head off.
My fault.
It's okay. Wait, where do I know you from? Don't you go to my school?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I knew it. I thought I saw you today. Sally Jenkins. Well, are you just gonna look at it?
Orville von Hammerstein.
It's nice to meet you, Orville.
I'm flying a replica Corsair F4U-2. They were used prominently in World War II in strike missions against the Japs, who nicknamed them the Whistling Death. They were developed in the Navy with folding wings for aircraft carriers. This model is one of the 20 that went in production. The other 19 lie dormant in hobbyist museums.
Nice glasses.
They're standard issue flight goggles, worn by my father and his father before that. They date back to the induction of the U.S. Army Air Force in 1941, just before the war. The designer of these specs went to create an Italian fashion label, the Dolce.
Neat. I like your hair.
It's for aerodynamics, to cut down resistance. You know, for speed.
Sure. Well, it was a pleasure, Orville. See you at school.
What are you eating? Orville, I'm making a nice dinner. Is your homework done? I don't need to call the school again, right?
It's done.
All right, because you know, no homework, no air show this weekend.
Did you see those physics in action? That was awesome.
What's up, dork? Oh, give me that.
Give it back.
Oh, so he does speak. Oh, what's the matter, dork? Oh, come on, man.
What's so funny? Jerk?
Hey, wait, don't you want your churro?
Cut it out!
is this your new boyfriend or something?
Knock it off. You're too pathetic. Scram or I'll tell Dad.
Oh.
Your fault.
My fault? How is this my fault?
You know them.
Of course I know them. They're my brothers.
Your fault.
Why do you keep saying that? I didn't do anything.
Apologize.
It doesn't make any sense. Stop walking, would you? Look, I'm sorry about my brothers, okay? I forgave you when you kamikazed your airplane into me.
That was my fault.
Yeah, I know. So it's only fair that you forgive me now. Let's go back in.
No. It's ruined. I want to go home.
It's too early to go home. You hungry? Let's get something to eat. So what about when you eat a burger? Or sandwich, for that matter. Things have to touch when you eat one of those.
Those things are meant to touch. Besides, I only eat the meat and bread.
Just the meat and bread? No mayonnaise, mustard, tomatoes? About my brothers, they used to do the same thing to me. Siblings would do that kind of thing. I'm sure you know. You've got brothers and sisters.
No, just me.
Really? Wow, you're lucky. Sometimes I wish I was an only child. So how come your parents didn't have any other kids?
Because my dad died.
Oh. Orville, I'm so sorry. I had no idea.
He died in a plane crash October 22nd, 1999 at 10:27 a.m. He was a test pilot for Madison Aircraft. He flew various planes testing gunfire, radars, and bombing buffets, bombing devices, and navigational equipment development.
Gosh, that's terrible. Is that how come you know so much about planes?
No. He died when I was 2, so he didn't have time to teach me anything. I learned about aircrafts on my own. It runs in the family. All the von Hammersteins are aviators.
Are you gonna be a pilot one day?
No.
How come?
Ruby won't let me.
Who's Ruby?
My mother.
Why do you call her Ruby?
That's her name.
So how come Ruby won't let you fly?
I'm just not allowed.
Have you ever been on a plane?
No.
Never?
Ruby says it's too dangerous.
Thousands of people fly every day. That's a silly rule.
I trust her.
Well, of course you trust her. She's your mom.
I trust her.
Yeah, you said that.
I have to go.
Orville?
Hello.
Hi. Is Orville home?
No, I'm sorry, he's not. He's with the Trabuco Flyers right now.
Okay, well, could you tell him Sally stopped by?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Are you a friend of his?
From school, yeah.
Well, you know, he ought to be back any minute. Do you want to come in and wait?
So how come you won't let Orville fly? Orville told me you won't let him fly because of what happened to Mr. von Hammerstein?
Sally, how well do you know my son?
I mean, not that well, I guess.
So you're not really aware of his condition? Orville's mildly autistic.
So that's why he doesn't like his food to touch.
Yeah, that's part of it. But it's also the reason he knows so much about airplanes. Why he knows everything about airplanes. When his father passed, he just became infatuated. I really wish he would find another hobby.
How come?
Because with Orville, airplanes aren't just a hobby. He wants them to be his life.
What's wrong with that?
They crash. You know what happened to his dad, to this family. Orville knows that.
But he loves them.
And I love him.
So don't push him away. Don't keep the thing he loves most from him. I mean, you said it yourself. Airplanes are the one thing he knows best. Sorry if I overstepped my boundaries.
Sally, I think you need to go now.
What? Ah! Orville! Orville? Oh, Orville, honey, what were you thinking?
I just wanted to fly.
Orville von Hammerstein to the office, please. Orville von Hammerstein.
You might want to take your things.
Happy birthday, Orville. Someone's here for you.
Happy birthday, Orville.
Orville, what do you say?
What kind of glue did you use?
Elmer's?
Orville, what do you say?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, are we ready?
For what?
We're gonna celebrate your birthday. Duh. What about that one?
Cessna 172 Skyhawk.
And that one?
Pilatus PC-12.
What about this one?
Piper Matrix.
Pretty good. It's my dad's. So, wanna go for a ride?
I can't.
Sure you can.
I can't.
You sure?
Yes.
Happy birthday, sweetheart.
Well, are you just gonna look at it?
Ready to go?
All right, Greg, Plain White Tea. Very moving film, great acting by those youngsters. Portraying autism in film is difficult. What can you tell us about that
Yeah,
process?
we've had a number of attempts with varying degrees of success. What was impressive about this one is that the students really researched the subject, in particular of a high-functioning autistic boy. Autism, as we know, is a spectrum. There's all kinds of behavior patterns associated with it. You can't really nail it down or pigeonhole it, but there are certain general traits you might associate with high-functioning autism, one of which is a literal mindedness. Another is failure to connect with the eyes when you're communicating with people. And it often results in a kind of humor, which I think the filmmakers did a commendable job employing without seeming to demean the autistic.
So they went and actually
character.
observed autistic children in one
They
setting.
read a lot about it, they did research, they observed. I have a personal interest in it because I have a nephew who's a high-functioning autistic boy, and we talked a lot about that before they went into production. I think they came pretty darn close to nailing it, really.
They can be highly intelligent, like a savant type. Is that what you're telling me? Because that kid obviously knew a lot about airplanes.
Yeah, that's not unusual. They have something called a persevative linguistic tendency, that is to repeat things or sometimes to stammer, perseveration it's called. He didn't really have that, but he did have a kind of a literal mindedness, and I think they conveyed that really effectively.
Well, there was a lot of emotion in this film, and I guess that's the trick to a lot of films. If they can move you emotionally, then it's typically we would say it's a good film. But this one definitely moves you when you see it, correct?
Yeah, partly because the acting's good straight across the board. It's well written. They had many drafts of the script before they finally arrived at this. In fact, as is often the case, the script is kind of a work in progress that's never finished. It's sort of abandoned just before production begins. And
typically, how many weeks or days or months does it take to actually production schedule just to make a film?
Well, that was probably 5 days of shooting.
Really?
I believe it was 5 days. There may have been a half day of pickup work. The total production, though, spans an entire semester.
To make one film.
To make one film, but that's roughly 14, 15 weeks to bring it to completion. Color correction, sound mix, everything.
So
that's tough.
Almost 4 months. So, Greg, thank you for sharing and joining us and sharing your information with us. You have a great department there, and we're just enjoying all the work that you're producing, and many more returns. So.
And more to come.
Our final film tonight is an animated short titled From Under the Birdcage, produced in 2009, written and directed by Jason Nair. It's a story about a young bird escaping the comfort of his cage in search of happiness. Thank you, and we'll see you next time on The Real Deal.
Petey was just a young bird when he first left the cage. He had a sort of curiosity that was typical for his age. He just wanted some friends to call his own. Goodness, look at that thing dirtying up the damn sky. Poor little Petey. He just wanted some friends in a coop to call his own, with a purty little hen and a yard to bury his bone. He's a creepy little bastard. I don't know about this. Oh boy. That's right. Don't turn back. Poor little Petey, he was curious, and he thought he wanted to roam. But all he ever needed was in his golden home. Jason written and animated by Jason Aaron, Stephen Melanie. Jason did the song, the dong, a dig a Durbin, Marshall, King, Tina, Coro, 660, brother of San Diego State University,